All right, guys. Luke Willett here from RW Soundworks. Huge thank you to the man who's behind the camera right now, Mr. Miguel Rios of Waveform Tuning.
Hello, hello.
And here today to bring you a 2011 Jeep Grand Cherokee Overland. It's a 5.7 liter Hemi. This is an extreme SQ build.
Yep.
I'm not going to call it quite no compromise because it's a daily driver and there's a few things that we did want to maintain, but in terms of within the limits that we were given, we pushed all of those limits to the fullest extent. The kind of objectives of what this build is one, that it needed to be essentially an OEM plus style build, very stealth, very integrated. We needed to maintain basically full capacity of the trunk area. And once we get into some of the equipment, you're going to understand why that was such a challenge, but we were still able to overcome it and essentially keep all but 2.5 inches of height, but still keep the full trunk area. This build is some of the best equipment available in the world, and tried to use that equipment in places that it would have the best possible advantage to succeed, and also maintain that OEM plus stealth, really integrated aesthetic. So we're going to bring you through the vehicle today from front to back, show you what's in it, how we approach things, and why we made some of the decisions we did, and then actually what's in it. So starting up front, under the hood, there's nothing, because fortunately for this system, the OEM battery is under the passenger seat, so I don't have to come through the firewall with any power or anything like that. No sound treatment in the front. Yeah, keeps it nice and simple. So why don't we start on, I'll have Miguel come on passenger side, right, and then we'll loop back around. I'll go from the driver's side, and Miguel, you can kind of poke inside. Yeah. And we will start with what you guys are seeing is the Accuton C30AM and the Accuton C100 AM that are in dash locations. So one of the big collaborations, this build is really what I consider kind of the sum of available people and technology, and taking the best parts, I feel, of all those aspects and putting them all together. And this mid-range pod and tweeter sail application are built by Matt Kim of Audio and Reach, who is really revolutionizing how we look at remote fabrication to an extreme level. So Matt is leaning into the 3D world heavily, and I've decided to try to join him in some capacity. His design skills are obviously far, far advanced beyond mine, but started to invest in a little bit of the hardware, a 3D scanner, Bamboo P1S printer, nothing earth-shattering, an 9-star scanner, but it allows me to work on vehicles and pass along some of this high precision work that I'll never claim to be a master fabricator. It's coming with time, but Matt's both skills as an installer before his 3D world, and his understanding of install and his actual 3D modeling skills allow him to be precise and build things that, as an installer, make my life easy, and they look nearly factory. So he basically worked with me. I 3D scanned the car. He's in New York, I'm in Maine. Pass along that information. We do a couple of test prints to verify some clearances, and then I pass along all of the scope in terms of finishing the sails and the mid-range pods over to Matt. And Matt sends me them in the mail. I have a jig that allows me to cut the dash, cut the sails in the perfect location. There's no guesswork of, okay, this screw is going to go here, this is going to go here. He takes that completely out of the concern of trying to do something like this where, like, you're cutting a dash, and if you screw it up, it's thousands of dollars. And you can just make it look like crap even if it is functional. He kind of takes away all that worry for me and makes it hyper efficient, and he does it at a damn good value. So we decided to put dash mid-ranges. I'm not going to get into it in the video, but there's numerous studies and examples of why there are such large advantages for using dash-mounted mid-ranges. This one, so this platform does not have a factory mid-range location, so we created one, and if we're going to create one, we're going to create one in the best acoustic and performing position possible. So we put them up in the corner. They are IB through the dash. They work very, very well, and yeah, they came out really nice. We got a vinyl that it's almost a dead-on match. Again, this is 2011. It's got about 100,000 miles, but it looks really good. It's a 2-owner car. It's always been garaged and inside, and I think with the exception of me replacing the vinyl in the center console, like I would give the interior a 9 out of 10. It's actually very, very clean. So the plastics are actually in pretty decent shape. They clearly have not been sitting in the sun too much. So we took the whole dash out, sound treated everything, and then cut holes in the dash for the locations, and then through bolted the pods. So they are very, very rigid, no resonances. And then we're beating the living crap out of them, and they just kind of don't even worry about how much volume you're sending them. But that is certainly an aspect of Accuton in general. So we decided to go with the tweeter in the sales. There's an OEM sale tweeter location. Again, the OEM kind of plus aesthetic. We were looking to kind of reuse some OEM locations if we could, make it blend. The client really didn't want to look at the OEM sail pod with the OEM tweeter and then a tweeter in the pillar. There's advantages to both locations, both an A-pillar mounted tweeter or sail mounted tweeter. And the sales for this and what the client really, really likes stage with. And now that the tune is dialed in, I don't see any disadvantages really acoustically, and it's delivering both width, focus that I kind of expect from A-pillar locations in terms of focus, but also with the benefit of this really added both ambient and actual stage width. So moving on from there, because I tend to be long-winded and we're trying to make an Indian restaurant before they close, moving on to the doors. So we did not want to build kicks. Obviously, there's a front sub here, so people for that are like, well, if you're willing to build a front sub, why aren't you building kicks? We all agreed as a team that we wanted to try doors. And these have a 6x9 location. The client originally had 8 WMs. The 8 WMs would be a lot of work. I think you would lose a lot of the structural integrity of the mounting location. So there's kind of this time value proposition of how much work we wanted to do, because these doors are like a German VW style door where they have the plastic panel and then you have a plastic full-size insert where the window motor and the track is mounted to, and that's where the speaker's mounted to as well. So there's a lot of flex. So kind of taking a little bit of risk in a mounting location like that. But if you've seen any of the previous videos on the build, I have a video where I go specifically through the doors of how I sound treated them. They have a full kit of Resonix sound solutions. So you got Mega CLD, you got Guardian, and then then you have butyl. There's four butyl ropes per front door. I don't know, CCF everywhere. There's 1-inch fiber mat, 2-inch in some locations in the big cavity. So I don't know, I probably spent 30 hours on the front doors of doing sound treatment, but these are the best sounding doors I've ever heard. And Miguel, I don't know if you I think from a tuning perspective, I think they were probably the biggest surprise.
Yeah, no, definitely. We were definitely expecting some of the typical like Dodge Ram kind of nulls and limitations, but with the work that Luke did, I mean, yeah, there are a couple small, very like narrow dips, especially in the right mid bass, but I mean, they do what they're supposed to do. They don't draw attention to themselves, which is the biggest, problem with doors is just all the tactile feel. So getting rid of a lot of that because all the denting he did. He even Duraglass physical like plastic panel where the 6x9 went just to make sure it was as rigid as possible.
Yeah.
Actually, in this vehicle in particular, I don't see the benefit of going to, kicks or anything. I don't really think you're gonna gain anything, if much.
Yeah, I think I was really pleasantly surprised that one, the frequency response, and two, how they feel tactily and how they handle mid bass. It's very clean. It's dry. It's on a high end competition level mid bass in here. So yeah, so we use the Blam MB690s, the multi-barrel neodymium versions. They're highest end mid bass because the 8WM again was going to pose a challenge. So we said, okay, what's the nicest 6x9 that we know that will drop right in, and that's the Blam. Blam, I think their strongest speaker lineup is always mid bass, and so they're 2 ohm, so they're getting something like 500 watts. We're not using nearly any of that based on the passband we're using, but actually really pleased. As somebody who has kind of transitioned to kicks or rigid mounted mid bass, I'm a snob when it comes to that, and I would be perfectly happy driving this daily, especially with the function of the vehicle that it maintains and the footwells. So moving on from mid bass, in the passenger footwell, we did a cabin firing subwoofer enclosure. It's huge.
Take out the panel.
Yep.
All right, guys, 2 seconds.
So inside of a very large enclosure, it's probably like 0.75, 0.8 cubic feet, is an Illusion C10XL. And it's getting about 900 watts. It is the only thing from the client's previous build that we kept in here. It's probably, I'll be transparent, is that it's actually the limiting output factor for us. We are talking about extreme volumes in this build. It'll probably be the thing that we look at, especially with Nick at Resonix developing some new subs. We're gonna probably play with those in here and see if he's willing to send a prototype our way. We'll do some stress testing on this system, but it's still a beautiful sounding sub, and it blends very well. I think it's just, we know what we like, and we know what the client Chris is after, and we're going to chase a sub that is a bit more capable at the high end volume that we're chasing. But for the day one application here, it's going to do very well. So moving on from that, so here in the center console, we have, I'll pop in here and turn the system on so you guys can actually see what the conductor is.
I can't even really see it.
Oh,
there it is.
So we have replaced where there usually is factory height and off-road controls here in the center console. We replaced that with a panel, 3D printed panel. We scanned it, and so it's molded to both the arc of both ways of the center console, and we mounted the conductor. Right now we have a gigantic iPad here in the center. But it's a magnetic mount. We have our USB-C here, and we have toggle for PD charging. We're using an SMSL, and it's convenient to have the ability to turn charging on and off. But it is a high-speed charger, and then he's got his conductor here, so when you're kind of sitting in the driving position, it's actually even steering wheel controls. It's just like my truck. It's really at your natural fingertips to adjust volume as you're driving. So I think this is going to work out very well for operating the system, and it's a very convenient location for both the phone and the conductor. So we'll let Chris mount his iPad or his iPhone back to that. So that is the front of the car. So we will transition out back.
You want to show them the rear fill? I'm going to show them from them.
Yeah, it's honestly easier to see from back here. But if Miguel shoots in so you guys can see, this car has probably the best looking and like best.
You want to open the hatch?
Yep. Best like functioning locations for rear fill. They have like these really beautiful, and I can put a little light here to try to help. Is just an awesome D pillar. Like they aim kind of at opposite A pillars, and I don't know, they work really well. We have Karma Inspire 2s in there that are just kicking some ass, and I don't know, can't ask for better locations than that. So in the back here, so again, I alluded to the beginning is so Chris's business, he needs to have the trunk accessible and functional and durable for daily use. So we wanted to provide the back of this. In the back of this trunk, you're going to see there's quite a bit going on. So in order for us to fit 6 amps, a 24-inch sub that you're about to see, plus a Brax DSP, plus power distribution that needs to be accessible, and we want it to be a stealth trunk. Most builds that have that equipment set, you're never trying to do a stealth build in this thing, or in a platform like this. You would have an extravagant trunk with lots of available room. That's not what we were setting out to do. So we have lost 2.5 inches of height, and it's because of the height of the 24. We're using the stereo integrity HFS, which is the shallow 24, but it's still a 9-inch mounting depth, and plus the amount of excursion and building an IB manifold that goes through the floor. You're bound to lose a little bit of height, but we did agree that we would have up to 3 inches. And if we couldn't fit it within that, we were going to change to a different sub and work from there. But thankfully, we were able to make everything work. So there's a 3/4 inch birch ply cover here. It has some integrated grills, so I'll take it out here. It's we just got a little access hole. Pull this up. Slide it out. It's nice and durable, so whatever Chris needs to put on it, he can. We put some, if you want to look over here, Miguel, so we put some 9-inch holes here with some 3D printed ABS grills to allow some venting for the sub, also get some fresh air for airflow into the amp rack, and that will always function. So as Miguel kind of zoomed in a little bit there, you guys got a preview of, yeah, I'm very proud of this. It's the feature of the build. There's, like I said earlier in the video, fabrication is not my biggest, or it's my most developing, let's call it the biggest opportunity in my skill set. So trim panels and stuff and stack fabbing and layering are not necessarily my forte, but I very much enjoy wiring. I'm really enjoying 3D printing.
FYI, your phone number's on there, so edit that out.
Oh, touche. I think it's listed publicly anyways somewhere, but the, I lean into my strengths. So when Chris and I talked, it was like, hey, look, like I'm not going to build you this crazy layered CNC laser like crazy thing going on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a very, very functional wiring design Ford looking trunk that was going to be rock solid, and it was going to be in terms of vibration and in rigidity and build quality, and I was going to make it very serviceable. Serviceability is generally my number one priority when building a system. Obviously safety above that, but if something goes wrong, you shouldn't have to take apart your entire car to get access to a piece of equipment. It should be intentional. So this amp rack has a ton of thought process into that mantra. So yeah, in the trunk floor here, we are looking at 4 Brax RX2s in the front. So those are Brax's newest Class D offering, and they are a phenomenal amp. They absolutely excel at layering, stage, separation. You just have this spatial realism that is like, I've only really heard, besides the Micro Precision 7 series is the only other amp that has really presented that way to me, to my ears and some of my testing. I'm sure there are other good amps that do that, but these are just, they're very, very, very good at that. Resolution is, pair them with the Accutons, is essentially, it's as resolving as I've ever heard. They're going to do anything that you ask them to. Tons of power. They're 300 at 4 ohms with, I don't know, a THD of distortion is 0.00000001, whatever. It's something, I think it's to the 10,000th. There's no distortion is an easier way of saying it, but we have, they are 2-channel amps. So we have one for the tweeter, one for the mid-ranges, one for the mid-bass, and then one that is bridged to the front sub. So from there, those are getting fed signal from the Brax DSP, which is got 4 ESS Saber digital output cards. Those feed the 4 RX2s running DieSac 2.0. Then we have 2 leftover cards from my DSP that we put in here. Those are the AKMs, which I actually almost prefer on the bass side. Those are analog out. Those run the rear sub and they run the rear fill. And we have those getting powered by, the rear sub is powered by an MMATS 2000.2 because the HFS is fairly power hungry, but that is behind here in this trunk panel where the OEM sub location is. And we also have an Eton Micro 120.2 that is powering the rear fill. Again, those are amps that are kind of purpose from a size standpoint and a power profile standpoint. So they have been working out really, really well. And Matt's makes tons of power, and the Eton has done very well as a small profile rear fill amp. So besides that, really the only thing is we have some really nice accessible power distribution. So we have our low voltage here for the DSP LEDs, small amps, run the stingers, MIDI setups. We also have a circuit breaker. If something goes awry, boom, hit that. You have very quick access to it. Or when you need to come remove the amp rack, you have easy access to kill power to the entire system through this circuit breaker. So in the bottom right here, so this amp rack is got built completely on a bench. What you're not really seeing here is the amount of quick disconnects that are under this location. There's 2 Anderson connectors, 4 Deutsch connectors, and like 5 XT connectors in there. So essentially it's 4 bolts, 6 connectors, and then the amp rack comes out. And to me, again, back to serviceability, it needs to have that. So again, it's a lot of work to do that, but there's a lot of long-term benefit if anything does go awry. So yeah, besides that, the vehicle is completely fully treated with Resonix. There's probably 120 to 150 hours, I don't even know, into sound treatment into this. But with what we have back here in the 24 and the rest of the system, we wanted it to be ultra tight and have absolutely no decay and reverb from the vehicle itself. We want just music, and that was time well spent because we fixed the sunglass holder and that was it.
Yep.
The rest of it was perfectly good with no matter how much volume we put on it. So that makes me happy. So thank you guys for watching. I know this is a long-winded video, big surprise with me. But there'll be more coming out on this. I'm sure Miguel and I are going to sit down and do a podcast more about our experiences with kind of collaborating on this. Yeah, Miguel was the reason that I'm sitting here with this car and doing this build. So thank you, man. Of course. But we did a lot of consulting together and system design decisions together on this. And it led to a really, really awesome end product. And I don't know where Chris is. He's floating around here somewhere, but he's a happy man. And we'll have a system here he's going to keep this vehicle indefinitely and hopefully brings him a smile every day. And it was making me cry the last time I sat in it. So thank you. We'll catch you guys on the next video, and make sure to leave a comment and like and all that stuff for social media.
Subscribe, whatever else. Tomorrow there's a little meet.
Oh, touche. Yeah. So we're going to premiere this probably by the time this video comes out. It'll have happened, but yeah, you'll see this car. So this car is in the greater Boston area. That's about as specific as I'll be. But any of the New England shows, it'll definitely be going to SVR next year. And any local show that's in the New England area, for sure, this thing will be there. So come take a listen to it. And I'm sure if you're in the greater Boston area, shoot me a message. I'm sure I can hook you up with my client and get a listen. It is worth it. It's worth a long drive to hear this thing. And yeah, but hopefully it does well in its first comp. Okay. It's got some stiff competition over to the right of it. But if he beats me, I'll be totally okay with it, given what's in it and who built it. But you and who tuned it, and who tuned both of these. And yeah, but I'm excited to turn this over. I'm excited to not be doing car audio for a little bit, but okay. I love it. I hate it. But yeah, the last couple hours listening to it, doesn't matter how many hours I put into it, the emotional response that it invokes, and even just me personally, regardless of what the client is, I know what this thing is doing, and it makes me very satisfied that all the hours put into it produce the results that my ears are hearing. So thanks, guys.
Yep. Bye, guys.